Hi everyone, welcome to our home. I hope you're having a very good September and happy fall. Today is the first day of fall. I really wanted to try to get in a couple of videos here with the dining room and kitchen. And Norm has done a very cute scarecrow window. We were definitely putting pumpkins in his display window, but I was hoping to make a video with a lot of my golden ceramic pieces and in particular pheasants. I always thought pheasant figurine birds were very beautiful. They're very colorful. I did show a really wild pair in the last living room video for fall, but they're really not my favorite. The Chinese pheasants, I believe, is what they are. These are your normal pheasants that you would see in the Midwest, and I don't know how many other states they live in. I didn't check that out, but I thought it would be fun to just set up some couple of pheasants on the table here. I actually have two pairs of these. They are really pretty and they are facing each other nicely. Turned that way so they are opposite molds. So I do have more pheasant figurines this size behind me on the little corner gold shelf. Do you think that's enough corn for them for a while? I did use a new weeping gold basket that I've had for a very long time, but I honestly don't think that I've had it in a Thanksgiving videos where I would have taken out, I have at least 4 pieces now of weeping gold that I think are really fun. I usually use that type of ceramic pottery in November for Thanksgiving. I don't know if I'm going to manage to get a Thanksgiving video done this year. I did set the table to show you a few things that we use, and I wanted to just put the napkins and salt and pepper over here because that's the way it would be for us. I'm just setting the table for Norm and I. We sit here on the same side of the table next to each other. Norm always sits here and I'm over here. I didn't use any candles today. I just got these little spiky, poofy little blossoms or thistle type blossoms. I'm not sure what they are. I hope you like this thrifted tablecloth. I should show you that it does have a metallic, 2 rows of metallic threads with every wide stripe here that's dark. And I've found many beautiful tablecloths like this at the thrift stores. I am so thrilled when I can find one that fits our table. I thrifted the plates. We have quite a few of these now, both sizes, and I just love having them out now that it's fall. We've been using them for the entire month of September. I did not put napkins down because I wanted you to see what's underneath the plates. I thrifted 2 of these, and they're very glittery. I don't know if you can see that, and you've probably seen this type of placemat. I always see a bunch of them. There were some there this year, and I picked these up many years back. So I thought it would be fun to use the fox for us for a while. I'm not sure where I found these beautiful amber colored tumblers. I only have 2, but that's the kind of thing I do when I only find a few of something. We use them for every day then because it's not a fancy whole set. So let's go look at some of the pheasants over there and other critters that I just wanted to share with you this September. I know that lots and lots of the YouTubers are showing Halloween videos already, but I feel we have time for that. I've wanted to do the pheasant videos for probably all the years that I've been making videos. I do not recall if I've done this one yet. So I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you're all doing very well. I'm typically going to be leaving my milk glass the way it is, except I will try to change the row where the mugs are to something a little more seasonal with each video. So you have seen my fun little chipmunks, salt and peppers, and other little critters like these are beavers. So I have shared them before, but I wanted to put him in here with some of my smaller pieces of Pyrex. I do have some of the bigger pieces of Pyrex in the kitchen that I will be sharing hopefully soon for the rest of this fall decor. So I am thrilled to have 4 of those little tan refrigerator dishes, and I love the casseroles. I will slide the glass away to show you the other side, and I did put some more Corelle in the back. I love those plates too, and I do use some of them in the early fall, or they can be for spring too, because they have daylilies in them. What looks like to me, they just look like they could be used for spring and fall. So I enjoy putting a white plate in the back because it just really helps lighten up this cocoa colored little hutch, little vintage handmade hutch. So I do have 8 of these. Was really happy to find a whole set of them. Every once in a while you will find, maybe a couple in a thrift store. They seem to be fairly abundant, and I love the big isolate picture that goes with that wheat design. The ones in the back, I only have 6 of those to divide on each side, and I've had those for many years. Very mod. Back behind the glasses are 2 sets on each side of little milk glass creamers and sugars that I really, really think are sweet. So let's look at the other side. So of course it's very similar. That is a different pair of chipmunks. These were the biggest ones on top of the little refrigerator dishes. The other set that's very similar was just a tad smaller. They're all made in Japan. But these 2 little oddballs down here, I've shown this funny little squirrel, and I just found this. I sure wish I had found the larger one. I know there is a larger size because I've seen them. It's sort of like a pair then, where it's an adult and a juvenile quail. I just saw 2 large ones and 2 small ones at the pink squirrel. I didn't even look at the price. They were up high, but they will be, I don't know if they're going to be in a video or not. I really didn't do any video there on, it was just last Wednesday. Today is Saturday. So the reason why I didn't get them or even look at them is because they were in blues, which is kind of odd for a quail. But I do really admire finding little ceramic pieces like this in a splatter glaze. I don't know why I'm so attracted to that, but I really am. So this side and the other side, I didn't mention that these are half candle rings, and I just love them. They're so spiky, and I love the acorns. They're very real looking. And of course it's the same up here. Up here I have a beautiful pair of pheasants, and I didn't look underneath. I don't know that they have any, nope, they've got a funny number, but I know it is a quality pottery company. I've seen them every now and then in an antique mall. I just love finding all of these little picks. That's what those three are. That is a tiny candle ring for a taper candle. So I was lucky to find the pair of those. Up here, I don't know if I've shared this with you before or not. I know it's a little odd that this is pink and black and gray instead of a different color than the rosy shade that they use so much with Royal Copley. And we have quite a few plaques of this style with the metal frame. We have another mallard that still has that rosy color in it, but it does have green in it also with the black. That's very nice, and it's in Norm's bathroom. And then I have a pair of beautiful budgie parakeets. So they go the other direction, not the wide way. They're more the narrow diamond shape. That's how you would display those, I believe. That's how I received them, so I didn't change them. I think I found this at a thrift store and was just thrilled. I could not believe it, so it was very, very reasonable, beautiful bud vase. And I'm not sure again who did that. I know Viking did a lot of pretty bottles and vases like that. So I did move this heavier black clock up there because I really didn't have that much in black over on the end here, and especially a heavier piece too. So it was down, way down there, closer, well, it was actually where the little square white one is. So I did change up this wall. I'm always having fun doing that. Oh, and here is one of the new beautiful bird plates, hand painted, made in Japan. Two of them were at the Goodwill. I believe we were in Elk River or we were way up in the Cambridge area, Goodwill. I just would have to look back in my notes, but I know it doesn't matter. You just saw it in one of my last thrifting videos. Yes, I absolutely love this because it's fall, and we do see cedar waxwings regularly come to bathe in our stream in the backyard. Yep, they just love running water. So even though it's 5 to 5, I need to get some dinner going too, unless Norm wants to go get some takeout for me. He's always good at that, offering that when I'm making a video. I just found a couple of these at the Goodwill, and I don't know if I did include that in a thrifting video or not. They are new, but I thought they were very fun, very mod, and I love the idea of being able to change the greenery, have a little more greenery on the wall here. So you see I'm getting a little more of a collection. Sorry about the light there. I shared this in my last dining room video. I was so happy to find that. It was probably $1.50 up in St. Croix Falls, Family Pathways. I thought it was going to be like about $4, and I think they only charged $1.50 for it. But Norm did respray the wire on it, and it is a little more curvy wire design. As you can see, this one is a very flat pedal-like wire frame, and I just love that. I don't know if I've shared this one with you yet this year. Maybe I did, even though it looked a little bit fall-like. I think of those as being rose-breasted grosbeaks. I don't recall that there was actually anything written on the back of that one like there was for the cedar waxwings up there. So this is also a beautiful pheasant. We have another mallard that is just like this, just a good size plaque, a flying mallard, not in a frame. And that, I believe, was Royal Copley. So I thought it would be fun to show you the beautiful pheasant. Now, let's go back down here. You can see I'm bird crazy. This was an amazing surprise. Our friend Gareth in London has been so sweet to send us many packages in the past couple years at least. And he surprised me with this, or surprised both of us, I should say, with this gorgeous, I would assume that's Blue Mountain pottery. Thank you, Gareth, so much. He sent 2 beautiful bird figurines. They are absolutely gorgeous in blues, and they're iridescent, and that is some fancy pottery company that I was not familiar with, but he was telling me a little bit about them and sent me an article on them, so I will be able to share them with you sometime too. Yeah, and he sent me a bunch of washi tape for fall and Halloween. He's just been spoiling me rotten. Yeah, thank you, Gareth. We sure appreciate you. Yes, thank you, thank you. That's awfully expensive to be sending that big of boxes, you know, from London. Oh my goodness. And he also gave us this last year. 2 big bouquets of this beautiful wheat looking. It's not, but that's what it reminds me of. So I felt like that was very fun because I was trying to stick with some gold things as much as possible. And I was happy to find that crazy vase quite a couple of years ago, I think. I'm hoping that today you're watching my thrifting video where I actually am showing this adorable hen, I'm gonna say, because I don't know, that can't be a cardinal. I mean, a cardinal is all red, so I have to assume the way that's shaped, that is definitely a hen. And the colors, the face kind of reminds you of a cardinal, but it's so dramatic. I absolutely love it. And then I'll be able to show you the pheasant that I got for 50 cents. Or no, was it 70 cents? It was somewhere around there. And that was, like last winter. So that's why I'm also attracted to this beautiful piece. Yeah, they marked it at the end of the video, didn't I say they marked it $2.99? That's not that bad. I wanted to include a few little of the drip glaze vases that we have because a figure like this would be kind of sad all by itself. So I did try to put a little vase here and there. This is probably my fanciest set of Japan owl salt and peppers. This, I don't know if it's been in any of my vase collection videos, little miniature vases. I don't know. It never really went with the pretty drip glaze ones. This is a new purchase, a splurge. We drove to Princeton, Minnesota to a new place. Lots and lots of new merchandise, lots of treats. And they have vendors outside selling their things. And then they have one building that we went to way in back, and this beautiful drip glaze vase was back there. I loved the twisted shape to it. And those little fox salt and peppers are so sweet. This is something I haven't shared a lot. I don't know if I showed you the little bears anywhere on another shelf somewhere or in the kitchen. I just don't know. But I don't believe I've shared that it came with this bigger bear. I don't know if that's supposed to be a tiny honey pot. Could be. That's a flaw. That is not chipped because you can see it is glazed. Yeah, see, a spoon would go in the back. The indentation there. So, yep, that's just a teeny tiny honey pot. I love those little googly eyes. So because they're golden, I decided to put them together instead of out in the kitchen. I got plenty of stuff out in the kitchen to share with you. Down here, I have a thrifted fall tray that I've had for many, many years. I like propping up a little tray in the back. And I just decided for here to put a rack of pheasant tumblers. I have had a set of my own, and then my brother, he had so many things in this pheasant design. I did put them in a long video showing all of our glassware collections. It was in there. But yeah, he had fancy tumblers with gold on them, and ice bucket, glass ice bucket, and cocktail shakers, a lot of things like that, and very, very big glasses, barware, I assume. So I decided not to keep those. I've had them for quite a while. I thought I would share them with you, but it's just too much stuff, and it's not really our style of what we would collect. So I decided to recently donate a lot of the bigger pheasant pieces that I just don't need. They were very, very glitzy with a lot of gold on them. So over here, I have had this really unique, I believe, a pheasant type mod design. I think it is so neat. Stands up with its two tiny little pointy feet there, and its tail balances very nicely. And some of the fun thrifted plastic foliage and flowers and fruit and nuts made in Hong Kong. My favorite to decorate with. I just think they're crisp. You don't see any fraying of leaves on that, like the silky leaves that were on the dining table in that bouquet. That drives me nuts when they start looking a little frayed. So this was another tiny, probably common, you've probably seen it around a lot, very little salt and pepper set, Japan. And these two I've probably shown at the foot of the stairs. There is that wooden shadow box for very tiny things like this. These are real small and very pretty design. Also salt and peppers, but can you believe this? Are these salt and peppers? No, I believe these are just figurines. And yeah, I found these so many years ago, and these. I thought that the cute little hobbyist, probably deer, would be adorable here. It could be about the right size, proportion, you think? Over here is that other very dramatic painted pheasant. I couldn't believe how little they asked for it, and I believe it was from New Horizon thrift store next to a Family Pathways thrift store in Pine City, Minnesota. I find such deals there, just really cheap. I did include them in one video. I don't know if it was last winter, but that's the only time I've shown inside. They typically have music playing too. But I thought that was really neat. Did I leave the price tag on? I bet I did. Yeah, I did. That was crazy. I thought, oh, are you kidding me? This is just really cool. I don't know anything about them, the hen or this, how old they are. I just don't. But I like them. And this was so fun to thrift, and don't ask me where that thrift store was because I don't recall. It's a town that we just do not go to very often. It's the only thing I found. I think I'll put the light on because it's getting pretty dark in this back corner. There, you can see the wood grain better. Isn't that fun? And it is handmade. I got the biggest kick out of what is on the bottom of it. Pretty fragile. I don't want to break those. I was worried about getting it home in one piece. Happy 65th birthday, Marv. So they wanted $3.99 for it. It's called Thrift Works, the store. Yeah, I just can't remember where it is. Well, I started out with a fall video that had some relaxing music, which I wasn't going to play the music, but the scenes were nice fall paintings, and all of a sudden it seemed to change, and we were looking at a piano, a grand piano in a room, so I thought, well, that's not an outdoor fall scene. That's kind of weird, so I changed it for the rest of the video to this free framed wallpaper art. There's so many really beautiful ones out there. That's the best I could do. And yes, there's pumpkins in here. And like I probably did mention, I wanted to try to make this video without a lot of fall leaves because we don't have hardly any color yet. Just barely you can see some changing. And I have tons of pumpkins everywhere, but like I said, there's going to be a lot of pumpkins in Norm's display window out front. But I did want to try to do this and even the kitchen to see what all I could come up with that's in golden, warm tones, a little orange here and there. But mainly just wanted to show you the pheasants. So let me go over to the corner too, to that last corner shelf. Over here, I don't know if the light's going to be too much. I can show you both ways. I did have 3 more pheasants. This one is different. It's not quite the same as these two. If you look at his head, is simple and smaller. This pair, they are pretty fancy the way they're painted, and their heads are very detailed and bigger. So that is a pair, these first two. And I wasn't above putting some corn out, these little cute little corn picks. I love having those out too usually I do that for Thanksgiving. But I can get away with it for a fall video, right? So let's see what happens when I take the light off. That's pretty nice too. I never really know which one I should show you. But that looks very nice. They are beautiful birds, aren't they? Maybe I'll pick up the one on the bottom and see if I could see anything for them. Just a Japan label. Thank you for watching the dining room part. I will do the kitchen in another video because it gets way too long. And we'll add Norm's outdoor display window too in this video.
Hi everyone. It's Sunday, September 22nd. And Peg and I have been putting the finishing touches on fall decor for outside.
Yeah, because I've done some already inside.
And you can see in back, we got a guy sitting in a chair and actually a Halloween head there. We'll get to that later. Anyway, we redid this Scarecrow.
Yep.
He was pretty tough shape.
A lot of work, yeah.
Well, we've had him for about 10 years and all his clothes were faded, so he looked pretty original for a Scarecrow and pretty scary too. But
so we were hunting around.
So yeah,
Goodwill
we went to the Goodwill and bought new pants, shirt, and jacket. And then Peggy put a nice bouquet on his lapel pocket there.
And then we felt guilty ripping up all these brand new shirts and pants and.
Yeah.
But you got to do that.
Well, yeah, he's got to have holes, so he's got holes, all right.
Yeah. Norm had the crow last year. He had that head and the hat, and I love the pumpkin lit up. The kids in the neighborhood really get a kick out of all this decor out here. Hopefully they know it's not our Halloween decor yet.
We got a lot of kids in the neighborhood.
Was that flag $1.99 at
yeah, it was $1.99, yeah.
Legacy Thrift. We just found it.
It's good shape.
You just saw it in a thrift video.
Yeah, we'll go over and look at the lights I have on the post by the front door here. This is what I did for the front entrance. I draped some more of these 6-foot sections of yellow and orange leaves. They're very large leaves, which is nice. And I got about 4 or 5 of them on here, and then I wrapped them around the post coming all the way down.
From Hobby Lobby.
Hobby Lobby, yep.
40% off?
Yeah, 40% off on these. We got some garland for the split rail fence we're going to put up for winter. That's very nice. And thankfully, that was 50% off.
Oh.
And where did you find this guy, honey?
Oh, probably Bible submissions a couple years ago.
All right.
And a small one I found too, but I think he's buried in a bin somewhere. That's nylon. I don't know if they made those in the 90s.
He looks pretty good.
Yeah, I washed him.
So I just...
He went through the washer.
Oh.
Really? He did just fine. He didn't drown.
Did you put him on spin, high speed?
Oh, yeah.
He looks a little dizzy.
I did.
And then over here, what about this guy?
Oh, I don't
remember where you got him either.
We've had him for...
Ages.
Ages, yeah.
He got a silly grin on his face.
It's better, of course, to see him in brighter light, but...
Yeah, it got a little dark
in
in
the idea.
And of course, we just watered the plants here, so they look nice.
He's that melted popcorn type, only he's not like most melted popcorn ones. There's like 2 different brands, maybe, where this one had real dark outlines, whereas the other melted popcorn holiday plaques, they just don't have that real dark black outlines on them.
Okay.
But he is cute. So I'm sure we found him.
Well, let's go and show him what we did for a fall window here. It's not necessarily the Halloween window. And this is a fall window I decided to do. And I'm going to explain what prompted me to do that. And that happens to be the guy who's in center stage here. Peggy found this up at the Salvation Army, and she didn't buy him. He was up on the top shelf.
Hollow and very lightweight.
He is, yeah. Well, when we got home, I hadn't gone into the Salvation Army that day with her. I sat out in the parking lot. We were sitting back at the dinner table after we got back, and she was showing me some footage she did. And I said, wow, Peg, this is really cool. Why didn't you pick him up? So after dinner, I made a beeline back up there. Unfortunately, they still had him.
Yeah.
We had gone over to Joann
day.
Fabrics again, and we bought a background cloth, and then this
bottom one to complement
bottom
it.
rust-colored one here to complement it.
That takes us a while because, there's a lot of patterns to look at, and you got to try to find something maybe that will go together and will be the right width for you.
Right.
That's kind of tricky for Norm to get material that the width is going to work.
And of course, I started thinking about this and said, well, that's great, Peg, but I've got one scarecrow and nothing else.
Yeah.
And she said, oh, I got a pumpkin or two. So you can see this is a pumpkin or two. And then here, just the other day, we did a little more shopping around, and Peggy got kind of excited about a few things. She said, you want to give us a rundown on who these guys are?
Well, we just decided to go check out some of the family pathways to see what their Halloween stuff was left over. We really waited too long. They said they were going to put the stuff out at the early September. Well, this is the 22nd.
22nd.
So we didn't find anything. I walked out of 2 family pathways with nothing. And the third one, what'd I get? 2 cookbooks. So, no Halloween. Yeah, boy, that went fast. And it's not even October. That just blew my mind. I could not believe it. But we decided to stop in Lindstrom, Minnesota.
Yep.
Antique Mall. And there's also a family pathways there too. I didn't buy anything there. But in Lindstrom, I found some very fun things. The Scarecrow on Norm's left, which he's already panned away from, sorry, but that was part of this trip to the family pathways. He said, let's go in the Lindstrom Antique Mall. Well, in the basement, they had this heavy ceramic or plaster. I honestly don't know what he is. It's probably a ceramic, but that looks, you know, hobbyist, you think? I didn't see any initials anywhere. The bottom is unfinished.
We did a nice job, whatever it is.
It's very heavy, and I thought, oh, that is really neat. I love his, he's wearing a sport coat, you know, instead of all of them having plaid shirts on. He was pretty cool and old looking, very old fashioned. So he was $18, so we did splurge, but I think he's really neat and worth it. They are centerpieces made in Hong Kong. I have 4 of them, but the other 2 are a girl and boy pilgrim for Thanksgiving centerpiece on your table or wherever you want. So I have displayed all 4 of them before, probably in a Thanksgiving video, at the top of the stairs, where I have that octagon shaped shelf. But yeah, they're what? You think they're 60s? Probably. But I thought they would be cute. The squirrel was also part of the trip up to St. Croix Falls. We went that far, Wisconsin, to that family pathways, and I was so surprised there wasn't anything left. That's where I bought the cookbooks. But we stopped on the way back home, that before you get to Lindstrom.
Center City.
Yeah.
It's a little...
I never remember what town that is.
About a 2-block area.
Yeah.
In there.
And there's a very nice little thrift store there. It's not super fancy, but very nice lady that we enjoyed chatting with. And she had that squirrel. It was $5.69. And in her place, that's a splurge.
It is.
Everything is like $1.49, right? Or $2.49.
Yeah, she's
But
very...
he was more. He's heavy. He's a heavy ceramic piece. So at the last minute, I asked Norm if he would like to include this cute little squirrel. So that wasn't originally planned. We were just going to have scarecrows in here.
Peg keeps coming up with all these little ideas that really add a lot to them.
Oh yeah, you got to think about...
If I did this, I'd just have this big scarecrow in the middle and that'd be it.
Well, I would have ended up adding more critters in here, but it's just takes time. Everything takes time. This guy is adorable, and it was earlier in the week. We went up to Cambridge. Is that where Shalom thrift store is?
Yes, yeah.
He was at Shalom, and I forget how much, but everything there too is like $1.50.
I think it was $1.50.
Oh, I mean, that's expensive at Shalom.
Yeah, their prices are
50 cents.
crazy,
yeah.
crazy.
Everything's 50 cents. And you can put something underneath him because his mouth and eyes are open. So he could be lit up. I was going to have him in the house, but...
Well, I could put a light in him.
Norm found the one on the side today at the same thrift store in Center City. For what?
$1.49 or something, yeah.
$1.49. She's always at.
kinda...
Yeah. So he decided, because we had a felt one on the other side, that this guy would be okay to add over there because his side walls are always kind of blank. The black earring trees in back, or jewelry trees, are all thrifted, and Norm spray painted all of those for me black in the past year. And you've seen my big brown wooden tree in winter decor, and
Yep.
the corkscrew one that's for, we think that's for hanging little framed pictures of your family tree people, on the metal one that's real curly Q on the right.
Where did you get all these pumpkins from?
Oh, the thrift stores. For years and years I've been picking them up at thrift stores. I think
you
some
got a
of
lot
them
of
are
them.
so pretty. Okay, so there's one more thing that I'd like Norm to explain.
Yeah, what's that, honey?
That is how you ended up deciding the layout of this. I made you change everything.
Well,
So I'll let you explain.
yeah, I put this Scarecrow, the main guy here, in the back.
Way in back.
Way in the back, and then everything in the front. And right away Peggy came out and said, "That ain't right. Why are you doing it that way? He should be front and center, and everybody else should be in the back." So,
Well, I
What
was
do I know?
saying you need to do the opposite. We need to create depth. And most people would put him in the back because he's big. That's just kind of a normal thinking. But if you want to create some depth, you put all the small stuff in back. But anyways, yeah, I think it turned out really cute. This was just meant to be for fall.
yep.
And sorry that it takes us so long to get a video out to you guys. But we've been enjoying it, and the neighbors have been enjoying it if they stop up here to visit. Now what's the temperature out here? Like 60?
Yeah.
They said 40 over
You
there.
might wake up to snow in the morning.
No. Well, that does happen. And
Okay,
Before
well, should we
Halloween.
say goodnight, honey?
good night, honey.
Okay, we'll talk to you all later.